Hey folks, what is up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first episode in a new series on my channel called DIYing the Clothing I Want. Now the whole idea for this video series really stemmed from having a very particular style and feeling as though a lot of the time I couldn't find the clothing I want. A couple of months ago, I tried my hand at sewing and I made that shirt and it was quite hard. The video seemed very quick, but the video was cut down a lot and it did take me a long time. Although it can seem daunting, I feel like the more you do it, the more you get used to it and the easier it becomes. So I was really hoping that that whole video would go well so that this series could exist. I'm going to try to do a lot of thrifting within this series because it's really important to me that when making new things, if we can, to also keep things out of landfills. The second aspect to this is also saving money. You know, maybe something just costs too much and I don't want to pay that amount of money for it, so instead we will DIY it. The third thing is by creating the exact items that I want, I feel as though I will actually buy less new clothing because I will be creating exactly what I want. And you know when sometimes you want something but you can't find it, so you keep buying like things that are similar to it. I'm hoping that this will also help combat that because again, we're going to be creating what I want. I also think this series is going to be a big learning curve along the way with my sewing. If you are new to sewing, I feel like it might be less daunting to watch me do it, who is also quite new at sewing. I'm really good at sewing a line. That's about it, and that's what we're going to do in this video. So I want to show you this skirt. I have been lusting over this skirt ever since I saw it online on Poshmark. And the problem here was, number one, it wasn't my size. Number two, it was quite short. So if I were to get this skirt in my size, kind of would have wanted it to be a little bit longer. I had this saved and in the back of my head I thought, eventually one day, I'm going to make that. This is what we're gonna do today. So I thought that we would start off by trying to thrift a pink skirt. It can be difficult. I mean, I don't think that I'm going to go out and find a pleather skirt, perhaps. I don't know, maybe, fingers crossed, thrift gods. But let's start this journey at the thrift store, shall we? I started off my search in the lingerie section because I'd always seen like pink satiny skirts here in the past. And so I thought, you know what? I will go to a couple different thrift stores today and I'll also check out their lingerie section because they usually have pink stuff like this. When I had no luck there, I ended up going to another Value Village and I actually found a ton of pink skirts at this one and I was just like through the moon excited. I even found this. Look at this. This is so crazy. I just had to look at it. But I had such great luck here with a bunch of cool skirts. I even found one that I thought would be super great. It was like this leather hot pink skirt. This had the potential of being like so cute and the perfect skirt to do this in, but it doesn't fit like literally at all. This skirt was like sort of a joke, but I'm thinking it's super vibrant and like kind of is cool. It needs to be steamed because it's super wrinkly, but it's not supposed to be like that. All right, we have arrived at the motherland. So the first place I wanted to check was like the patches, the ones that are already ready and good to go. I think I'm looking for silver stars. This is so cute though. Snowflakes. These are like textured stars. That's not really what I want. This is more along the lines of what I want to do. They also have like all of these patches here. They have a lot of really cute ones, but there's a bunch of like star ones. I didn't know that I was going to do patches. I thought maybe I would actually do fabric and like add my own like little sticky backing to the fabric. Little eye. Oh my gosh, everything's so cute. I really liked these. Oh my god, wouldn't it be cute to do little hearts too? These are Heat and Bond products and luckily everything is 50% off. So there's like this iron-on adhesive that I could use. They also have this Superior Bond machine washable. I'm thinking this would be like a better deal because I could make more, but I'm like having trouble finding glittery fabric. This is like all the clearance fabric. I'm just taking a look through it, see if we can find anything cheap. So this one is shinier, which I like, but this one is thicker and the skirt is pretty thin, so I feel like thinner might be better. Okay guys, so this is the skirt that I ended up getting. I did give it a quick steam before we started this, so you can see it's like not as wrinkly as it was. I just thought that this was like a perfect color. The price is also really good. I only paid $5.99 for it, kind of unheard of. So yeah, I really love this color. I think that it's going to look fantastic. Now, if you weren't looking for something like so specific as I was, you could totally probably have gotten whatever fabric you wanted from like the thrift store, found just like a fabric that you liked, but because I wanted this specifically, it was a little bit harder for me to do that. But you could also look for like t-shirts or, you know, shirts of any kind that were made of this material and used that. So what we're going to use to make these stars actually is a cookie cutter. I had this cookie cutter. I thought it would be great for this. You could also print out a star online and just cut it out from that. Either way, this is great because it's perfect. The only thing I would say is the edges are a bit round, so I might not trace the complete star. Might just trace like the lines in here, and then I'll just cut it out straight when I'm ready. So this was only $5. Great little deal. They had a sale on, which was great. So I'm gonna fold it out, and it looks like this. It's got like a papery side and a shiny side. When you apply the heat bond, you want it to be the paper side up. So see how I'm taking the sticky side and it's going to the back of the fabric that we are using? That's what we want. Okay, then I'm going to cut a piece of the heat bond to be about the same size. And this is just a towel that I don't really care about. Fabric is going down, good side down, and then I'm putting my heat bond on top. Then you're going to need an iron, and you're going to want to preheat it to the, whatever it says, the silk. Mine says silk and nylon. You're not going to want to use any steam or any water. When you glide the iron across, you're going to want to do it for 1 to 2 seconds. You're not going to want to overdo that, because when you peel off this paper backing, the adhesive should appear like milky. If it's not, like if it's shiny and clear, it's a sign that you've overheated it, and then it's going to have a trouble bonding to the fabric that you attach it to. Once that's cooled, we're going to take our cookie cutter, and I'm going to use a pen. I'm not going to use a marker because I don't want anything to, you know, shine through onto the other side of the fabric. And I'm just going to go ahead and trace some stars. Now it's time to cut them out. So we have all of our stars cut out. I don't know if this is enough, but I'll know once I start, and then we can always cut out more if need be. So I'm gonna start on the front of the skirt. I don't want them like all spaced out like perfect. Once you peel it off, you see how it's actually not sticky like when you touch it, but it kind of feels like a little tacky. That's how you know we're all good to go. So once it's on, you're gonna iron it for 4 to 6 seconds. There's our star. It worked. So I've let this cool, and it seems to have like stuck really well. You can see I'm like bending the fabric. It actually seems really great. I still might sew it. I just want this skirt to like last a long time. I know that there are a lot of DIYs on this website that people do, and then they just don't end up actually, you know, keeping them around for a long time. That's not what I want this series to be. I want it to be stuff that like I'm adding to my wardrobe to wear a lot. Yeah, anyways, it's like, it's a good bond, and very happy with that. I have already gone ahead and sewed one of the stars on. I've done a couple actually. I just wanted to test it out. I think it's important to note that I was originally planning on just heat bonding the stars and calling it a day. However, I did mention earlier that these items are things that I want to last a long time. I don't want them to just be simple DIYs, so I did decide to sew them on. I still would have had to do the heat bond because I needed to know exactly where the stars were going to be placed as I sewed them. I am not a sewing master, but I do want to show you guys basically how simple this is. Once you already have your sewing machine threaded, and if you're unsure of how to thread a sewing machine like I was, this is like the second time I have sewed, so I did watch like some of my Skillshare videos, and then I just basically picked one of the stitch patterns that I liked. Over here there's just like a bunch of like stitch patterns, and I picked one that I liked. And then I just gave it a whirl. Instead of starting on the outer corner of the star, you're gonna wanna start here. Just because if you were to start here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to make sure, because you wanna really sew the end of that star. So we're gonna start in the middle and work our way out. And then you'll see here, this is the foot, and you can make it go down, or you can make it go up. So you can move your fabric, and then once it's down, your fabric is stuck in there. So I'm gonna position the sewing machine to start sewing right there. Now once I'm in the correct spot, I'm gonna go ahead and lock that foot down. Right now I'm just gonna sew all the way to the end, and then we're gonna stop. Once we're at the end of the star, you see how our needle is up, it's not actually in the fabric. There's always a knob over here to the right of your sewing machine, and I'm gonna just, if you just watch, I'm bringing that needle down into the fabric. Once the needle is down, you can lift your foot, and the needle is going to hold the fabric in place so that you can now twist the fabric without losing your spot. So I'm gonna twist it so that I can start doing the other part of the star, and I'm just gonna put a bunch of this skirt through there just to make it a little bit easier. You can go ahead and lock your foot down again, and we're gonna sew to here. So the reason why I'm doing this is because it's such a drastic angle that I don't really want to just keep on sewing, because I'm not gonna hit all of those angles that are so like severe. That's pretty much why. Okay guys, it's done. It's done! Here is what the skirt ended up looking like. It's so perfect. It reminds me of my Free People skirt. You know that leopard print one that I wear all the time? It reminds me of that. I feel like satin skirts like this are so in right now. So we kind of took a skirt that was very me in a way and made it very even more me by making it a long satin skirt. I'm so happy with the way that this turned out, and I'm actually happy that we did the heat bond as well as the sewing, because I feel like it's going to really hold up over the time. And like I said, like that was a really important aspect to me, that the stuff that I was DIYing wasn't just a one-time thing. It was stuff that was actually going to stay in my wardrobe for a very long time. So thank you for coming along this journey with me. I'm really excited. If there's anything that you want to see me DIY, let me know. I'd love some inspo pics. That would be really great. I do have a list of things I want to create though, so maybe expect like, I don't know, one of these a month. This one took me a while to do. Did I sew the skirt to the skirt like 10 million times? Maybe. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!